Welcome to our first ever cooking event at Cozy Malka. I'm glad you're here. Today we're baking hot cocoa cookies, chocolate goodness, and with melted marshmallows to top it off, literally. It's going to be a gooey adventure. This recipe comes from Maria over at Two Peas and Their Pod, so thank you for sharing it. I'm looking forward to baking this recipe with you today, and I hope that you can enjoy it with your loved ones for the holidays. First things first, what do we need to do to accomplish this? Let's make sure we're set up and ready to go with the French call mise en place, or everything in its place. So we've got a whisk, and you'll need a cookie scoop or a rounded teaspoon or a tablespoon, a stand mixer with paddle or an electric mixer like I have, and a spatula. We've got 2 medium bowls if you're using electric mixer, otherwise one is fine. A large baking sheet with parchment paper. It just makes the cookies not stick and makes cleanup easier, so we definitely want that. So we've got that. And then now for the ingredients. So we've got the 2 cups all-purpose flour. And so make sure with the flour you're using the spoon and level method, which is where you use a spoon and then pour in the flour and then level it off with something. It seems like it wouldn't make a big difference, but it actually does, because when you pack it in, it makes the measurements off, whereas if you spoon it in, there's more air and you get a proper measurement. So spoon level method with that. 2/3 cup unsweetened cocoa powder, got here, and 1 teaspoon baking soda. We've got 1/2 teaspoon kosher salt, 3/4 cup or 1.5 sticks of room temperature butter, 3/4 cup light brown sugar, 3/4 cup granulated sugar. And then we've got 2 eggs, which is also should be, if possible, room temperature. It just helps it to mix in better. 2 teaspoons pure vanilla extract, 19 large marshmallows cut in half, and finely chopped chocolate for garnish, which we'll do later. And garnish is just a fancy way of saying making it pretty at the end. All right, so now in a medium bowl with your flour, we're going to put the cocoa powder. What happens in the kitchen stays in the kitchen. Okay, cocoa powder. And then we've got our baking soda and our salt. All right. Oh, hello. Okay, so we want to make sure to whisk this together, and the purpose of that is just to make sure that everything is mixed together before you start adding the wet stuff. So you want to make sure that it's nice and mixed together. Very cocoa powdery, which is what you want. All right. Okay, so now we need to get our stand mixer with paddle, or again, electric mixer. And then, so electric mixer, you're going to have a bowl. If you stand mixer, you're going to have your own bowl. So we want to put our butter in our bowl. Doesn't want to come out of. Hello. There we go. And again, that should be room temperature, although it is a little chilly in here, so that it mixes together better. And we're going to take our butter and then our sugars, so both of our sugars, and we're going to mix that on medium speed. So don't get crazy like that. There's spills everywhere. You just want to get it to the point where it's creamed together, light and creamy. So about 2 minutes. You want to make sure to beat the butter together with the sugars. All right, so I'm a little concerned that's going to get messy and loud. So I'm going to go ahead and put that together, and then I'll be right back. All right, so we're looking good. And now all we have to do is add in the eggs and the vanilla. Bring back my little dish here. I knew I kept that around for a reason. All right, 2 eggs, room temperature, hopefully. All right, and then the vanilla, we have 2 teaspoons. One. Ooh, little extra for pizzazz. Okay. All right, so we got the vanilla. Okay. We're going to mix that together. Again, if you have a stand mixer, then you would just mix this together. Otherwise, you can use a bowl and go old school. Okay. All right, so we've mixed all of our wet ingredients together, and now we're just going to add our dry in with it. All right, so now we're at the step of forming the cookies. So like I said, if you have a cookie scoop, you can use that. I'm just using a tablespoon, rounded tablespoon here, and just scoop it up, roll it around. Just make sure they're about 2 inches apart. And then next is the baking. So be very careful when having anything to do with the oven. If you're a little one, especially, make sure you get some help. Or if you're not little, but need some help, then no shame there. So make sure that you're being careful. So we're going to bake these for 8 minutes. And then super carefully, we're going to pull them out, put 1/2 of the marshmallow on top in the center of the cookie. Don't take too long. You don't want the temperature to drop in the oven. Then put it back in for an additional minute for the marshmallow to get soft, and then pull it out. Let the cookies cool for a couple of minutes, and then transfer to a wire cooling rack so that they can cool completely. Then we're going to garnish. So go ahead, bake them, and we'll be back. We'll see you soon. All right, here they are. They're all finished. Don't they look great? They're like little soldiers. So they turned out pretty well. I like the little cracks in them. It makes them, if you did a little powdered sugar, those cracks would really turn out nicely, I think. Okay, so now we have the garnish portion of tonight. So the knife is involved. So if you are a little one, make sure you do not do this. Adults, be careful. So we're just going to very, very finely chop this because it's just a garnish, so we don't have to go crazy. We just want little slivers on the top. A little bit of crunch, a little bit of color. And there we are. There's our dark chocolate garnish on the top. All right, now if you do need to store these, make sure that you store them in one layer in the container. You don't want marshmallow contact with the cookie. They keep at room temperature for about 2 to 3 days. So here they are. They look delicious. How'd yours turn out? I'd love to just hear what happened, see pictures, and let me know. I think this was a super successful first baking adventure, if I do say so myself. Join me next time for pecan sea salt truffles. All right, let's try one. They're a little mushy. They're very chocolatey, very fudgy. These are going to be a fun one. You're going to enjoy it.